Hello, my name is Onur and I want to show you some of the cool features of Windows and Widgets framework. In this video, first I'm going to briefly explain what Windows and Widgets framework is. Then I'm going to show how the inherited properties system works. And lastly, I'm going to show how to create custom skins and apply them to window and button controls in an example game project. Windows and Widgets is an extensible Windows system for Unity game engine with skinning and inherited properties support. Its design is based on the Microsoft .NET WinForms API. You can use Windows and Widgets framework to implement window interfaces in your Unity game project. You can even implement your own custom controls for adding them to your window interfaces. You can find more information about Windows and Widgets in its documentation via the link in the video description. In this UI design scene, you are currently looking at two regular windows and a toolbar window at the bottom. Windows and Widgets comes with lots of control classes such as a window and a button, and you can also implement your own custom controls by implementing the existing classes. For example, this main window class in this project is a custom window which inherits the original window class as can be seen in its source code. This project also has a test button class which inherits from the original button class. Okay, that's enough about Windows and Widgets introduction, so let's see how the inherited property system works. The window on the left side is displaying itself with the default skin provided with Windows and Widgets framework, and the window on the right side is displaying itself with a custom skin called purple skin. When I select the window and reset its skin property to the default value, it will start using the default skin. Let's assign the purple skin back to the Windows skin property so it goes back to its original state. When I apply the purple skin to the window on the left side, it will update itself automatically to display the new skin state. And let's revert it back to the original state too. I'm going to talk more about custom skins later in this video. Windows and Widgets framework has a feature called inherited properties. Some of the properties of these windows and buttons are inherited properties, but some are just regular properties. For example, text property of this button is not an inherited property. The background properties, on the other hand, are inherited properties. An inherited property is a property which automatically gets its value from the same property of the parent object when it doesn't have a custom value on the object level. For example, the buttons in this window get their colors from the parent window. If I change the forecolor of the window, the colors on all buttons will change automatically. If I apply a custom color to a specific button, it will stop using the parent window's forecolor value to display its own color. In this UI design scene of my The Settlements game project, you are seeing a menu bar window at the bottom. This project has a skin called main skin, and it applies to all windows in the project by default. Main skin doesn't have information about base control class, so it applies default skin values to all controls. To edit the properties of the skin, I need to add a control class entry to it. Now, if I select the main skin and modify its properties, you will see all the controls will react properly. The main skin doesn't have information about button control class either. That's why all the buttons share the default background color of the main skin. As a side note, I can select a specific window and modify its own properties. These changes will override the information coming from the skin, and also they will apply to the child controls of the window. Let's go back to the first project to see something interesting. Purple skin of this window contains information about both the control class and the button class. This means that the value of control information will apply to all controls inheriting the base control class, but the values of the button information will only apply to button controls even though they also inherit the base control class. Using both the inherited properties and skinning features, Windows and Widgets framework provides a cascading style support to the Windows system in your game for you to use easily. In the Settlements project, when I add button information to the main skin, all the buttons will start to react to this change, but other controls such as Windows won't, because obviously they don't inherit the button class. I'll revert these changes by deleting the information I added to the main skin to show you one last cool feature. In my game, there is an end turn button and I want it to have a different style than the other buttons. Sure, I can go and create a new skin just for that button and apply it to the button's skin property, but that won't work in this case because I also want the end turn button to have a brighter, more important looking style when the player's turn is complete. And I'll be using the skin property of the button for this secondary purpose. So I need another way of providing the skin information for this button. The way to do this starts by implementing a custom control class just for the end turn button by inheriting the existing button class. When implementing custom controls, you can add many more features and improvements to the existing functionality of the base class. But for the end turn button, I don't need to add any new features. I just need this custom control to be able to skin the button differently. Second step is to add the end turn button information to the main skin and adjust its properties. Now, the end turn button in menu bar window properly displays its default state. Earlier, I created a secondary skin called Turn Complete Skin, so the end turn button can display its bright state when this secondary skin is applied to it. I'll apply the secondary skin to end turn button in runtime by subscribing to the turn complete event of the game, and I'll change the turn complete state of the game with the help of a simple test script using Unity's immediate mode UI system to be able to test the turn complete state of the button. Let's see it in action. As you can see, when I change the turn complete state of the game, the end turn button properly changes its visual style, and only thing I need to do was to apply the secondary skin to the button in a single line of code. All these things are possible thanks to the inherited properties and skinning features of Windows and Widgets framework. If I override the skin property of the menu bar window to make it skinless, it will automatically display itself with the default skin, and when I revert this override, it will quickly go back to the way I want it to look like in my game. That's all for this video. I hope you like Windows and Widgets framework and the things you can easily do with it. Bye!